And good night, everybody. Good night to Antigua and Barbuda. I'm so happy to be with you again. My name is Carlin Knight. I'm the moderator of this year's 2026 Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board Junior Science Quiz. Well, what a second round we have had so far. So far, let's just do a brief recap. We've had 3 encounters of 4 encounters. In the first encounter, we saw that the St. Joseph's Academy emerged victorious over the my apologies. We saw that the Seventh-day Adventists, I'm getting ahead of myself, Seventh-day Adventists emerged victorious over the St. Anthony's Secondary to earn the first spot in the semi-final competition. They will then face the St. Joseph's Academy, who emerged victorious over the Princess Margaret Secondary. And last week we found out that the Antigua Grammar School has earned the 3rd spot as they were victorious over the Antigua Girls High School in a very tight contest. Well, tonight we have the final encounter in round 2. We have the All Saints Secondary versus the Clare Hall Secondary. This week we have an all-girl contingent, so it's girl power tonight. Right? Last week we had boys versus girls. This week we have all girls tonight, and we're going to meet the teams. From the All Saints Secondary, they are led by Miss Tiana Payne.
Good evening.
You can always recognize Tiana with those rainbow-colored glasses that she loves to wear, right? And she is supported ably by her teammates, Miss Joanisha Dillon.
Good evening.
And Miss Amelia Russell.
Good evening.
I want you to give them a round of applause. Please make them feel welcome. And from the Clare Hall Secondary School, we have Miss Nashe Carter, the captain.
Good evening.
Good evening, Nashe. We have Hanika White.
Good evening.
And we have Esther Sandy.
Good evening.
And yes, of course, give them a round of applause. And we have every week a panel of expert judges. They get to have the final calls, as you learned from last week, over any sort of toss-up questions, let's call them. And so from time to time, I will go over to my expert panel, and they will give me the indication. And remember, the judge's decision is always final. So I will, of course, introduce you now. From the Clare Hall Secondary, we have Mr. Darius Dundas. Just indicate there. Give him a round of applause, please. We have from the All Saints Secondary, Miss Shaniqua Greaves. And our neutral judge is Oriel Hosford Hunt from ABCAS. All right, with that said, I think we are ready now to get into the very first round of competition. Are we ready, teams?
Yes,
You ready?
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay, hold on, sound too ready. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's better. Right, so your individual buzzer round. This is the first round. As always, the teams will pair off into groups of 2, so pairs, and each pair will receive 2 questions. The first person in the pair to buzz in with the right answer will earn their team 5 points. If they are incorrect or they're out of time, it will go over to the other team for 5 points. Remember, if you buzz in before I finish reading the questions, you will not be allowed to hear the full question, and you must answer with what you have heard so far. All right? So I'm going to start with the teammates closest to me and work my way out. So it's going to be Amelia from the All Saints Secondary and Esther from Clare Hall Secondary. Here, buzzers in hand. Are you ready? Let's begin. Name one element that is present in ozone. Clare Hall Secondary. I think that's time, so we'll go over to All Saints Secondary. One element present in ozone.
Hydrogen.
I think that's incorrect. It's the one element, and the answer we were looking for is oxygen. Oxygen is the element that is present in ozone, and so that is not the correct answer. We'll move on to the second question in this round. So this pair, we asked you the following question. Name the instrument used to measure wind direction. I think that's clear, Hall.
Windmill.
I think you said, please repeat that.
Windmill.
Windmill, I'm afraid, is not correct. We'll go over to All Saints.
A barometer?
A barometer is also incorrect. The answer is a windsock or a wind vane. So that is the correct answer. We move on now to the team captains, Tiana versus Nashe. Here is your question. Name the cell structure that controls the movement of substances into and out of the cell. Nashe?
The cell membrane.
The cell membrane is correct for 5 points. Now, this is the fourth question to you. Here is your question. Which element has the symbol Hg?
Mercury.
Mercury is indeed correct to clear Hall for 5 points. So, now I move on to the last persons, the last two people in this round, and that is to the Miss Joanisha and to Hanika. Here are your two questions. This is science, but I have to get the English right as well. So here are your two questions. Name one of the two structures that make up the stamen in a flower. Clear Hall.
The style.
No, that is not correct, so we'll go over.
Is it the stem and the stamen?
No, that is also not correct. So the answer you're looking for is anther or filament. Anther or filament. Here is the last question is in this round. What term is used to describe the systematic study of nature? That is time, so unfortunately no team got that answer, and the answer we were looking for there is science. Science is the term used to describe the systematic study of nature. So we are going to now take our first commercial break. We're going to hear a message from our sponsors, the Antigua Barbuda Social Security Board, and we'll be right back with the scores. Please stay with us.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the final match in the second round of the 2026 Junior Science Quiz Competition. We have the Antigua, sorry, I'm seeing those E's getting confused there. The All Saints Secondary versus the Clare Hall Secondary School. It's an all-girl contingent tonight. And we just had the first round of competition. That was the individual buzzer round, and in that round, only the Clearhouse Secondary School managed to get onto the board with 10 points. So they are currently leading with a score of 10 points to the All Saints Secondary School 0 points. But it is still early days, still very much early days in the competition. We have 3 more rounds to go. We are going to go right now into the second round of competition. That is the clicker round or the multiple choice round. So in this round, there will be a total of 4 multiple choice questions. Each question will come up on the screen, and each question will have an option of 4 answers, right? And so the students will be using their clickers to choose the right response, or the response they think is the right one. Remember, you have 10 seconds to click the right answer, and if you are correct, it will earn your team 5 points per student. Remember that at the end of 10 seconds, whatever you have clicked is going to be your final answer, right? We encourage, as always, those of you at home to also get a sheet of pen and paper and join in with us and see if you too can get the right answers. And I have my studio audience here as well who will themselves be trying to get the right answer. So let's begin this round, the second round. Here's your first question. Food production in plant cells takes place in the A, nucleus, B, vacuole, C, chloroplast, or D, mitochondria. Choose the right answer. And that is your 10 seconds. Anybody want to tell me the right answer? Shout it out for me. No, come on, it's C, chloroplast. Chloroplast is where plants produce the food production in plants, chloroplast. Y'all are taking me back to my 3rd form biology here. I have to brush up on my skills here. Some of these things I'm learning again. Now, let's go on to number 2. What process is being demonstrated in the diagram on your screen? A, extraction, B, sublimation, C, distillation, or D, chromatography? Choose the right answer, 10 seconds. Can I get the time on the screen, please? And that is time. What is the right answer there? Yes, I'm hearing D, chromatography. Chromatography is the right answer there. Now, let's go on to number 3. Number 3 says, into which group of vertebrates do turtles belong? A, fish, B, reptiles, C, mammals, or D, amphibians? 10 seconds. And that is time. What is the correct answer there? B, reptiles. Turtles are reptiles. Reptiles is the correct answer. So, number 4, the final question. It's also a diagram question, so please look on your screen once more. Which of the symbols shown below indicates that a substance is radioactive? A, B, C, or D? 10 seconds. And that is your time. What is the symbol for radioactive substances? Anybody? C is correct. That fan-looking thing there, that's the show that shows that a substance is radioactive. So we'll find out how our teams did, and you at home will find out how, well, we won't find out, but I hope you can tell your own selves how you did in that round, and we'll find out the scores after these messages from our corporate sponsors.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
And good night, ladies and gentlemen watching from home, and good night to my studio audience. Good night to my teams. Welcome back from the break. We are now just about at the halfway point. We just completed 2 of our first of our 4 rounds of competition in this match. And this is the 7th match in the series, and of course the final in the 2026 second round of competition in the junior science quiz competition. So we have the Clare Hall Secondary versus the All Saints Secondary. In the break, or in the last round, we had the teams competing in the clicker round, or the multiple choice round. And we now have the scores back from that round. And there was a tie with both teams scoring 45 points in that round. Give them a round of applause. Well done. Well done. And so quick math tells me that the scores are now Clare Hall Secondary 55 points to All Saints Secondary 45 points. So Clare Hall maintaining that 10-point lead there as we go into the third round of competition. This is, of course, our explanation round. It's the round where the students get to show off all that scientific knowledge by giving answers a little bit more meaty and weighty in nature. As always, this is a individual team round, so we will say goodbye to, I believe it's the Clare Hall Secondary at this point. You will be escorted to a secluded area where you will not be able to hear the questions, as the All Saints Secondary will go first, and you will have the opportunity to go and earn as many points as you can in this round. And to my girls from the All Saints Secondary, as always, each of you will get 1 question apiece. I will read that question twice. If you get that question answered correctly, you will earn your team 10 points. If you don't know the answer or you get it incorrectly, it can go over to the team for a maximum of 5 points. And the team will have 10 seconds as well to answer. Anybody from the team can answer once it goes over to the team. Okay? Here is your first question. I'll start with Amelia and work my way down. So, Amelia, here is your first question. I'll read it twice. Explain what is meant by menopause. Explain what is meant by menopause.
Menopause is a period of time which a woman cycle stops.
I think we can take that. Judges are happy with that answer. Yes, indeed. The term menopause means the period in a woman's life when her menstruation ceases. Indeed, her cycle is also known as a menstrual cycle, so that is acceptable indeed for 10 points. Well done. We move on to the team captain, Tiana. Tiana, here is your question. I'll read it twice. How many significant figures are there in this number? 0.002003. Let me repeat. How many significant figures are there in this number? 0.002003.
There are 2 significant figures.
I'm afraid that is not correct, so we'll go over to the team for 5 points. I'm afraid that is you're out of time. The answer we were looking for is 4. And remember how we calculate or how we determine significant figures. Any number, any 0 before the first non-zero number is not significant. So any 0 before the 2 is not significant, but any 0 after the 2 is indeed significant. And so in the number 0.002003, there are 4 significant numbers, 2003. That is the correct answer. So we move on to the last person. And here is your question, Joey Nisha. Name the first 7 elements of the periodic table in order. Name the first 7 elements of the periodic table in order.
Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen.
Judges, we happy with that? My judges think there was a slight error there. In that one, there was a slight error, so we're going to go over to the team for 5 points.
Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen.
That is correct. You are on the ball there, Team Captain Tiana, and you get your team 5 points. I think you had just mispronounced lithium there, Joanisha, so we couldn't get you. Just so close, so close to getting 10 points. But well done, well done. And by the way, the reason why we're on the number 7 is not only because it's lucky, but this is also the 7th match in the competition. So lucky number 7. That's where we are asking our teams to name the 7 elements there. But Tiana, you had it on the ball. Well done. Well done to Team All Saints. We now invite Team Clare Hall Secondary back into the room. Girls from Clare Hall, welcome back. You had a nice little break there. Now you're refreshed and ready to get your turn at the explanation round. So in this round, each of you are going to get 1 question apiece. I will read that question twice. You have 10 seconds to begin to answer that question. If you get it right, you earn your team 10 points. If not, it goes over to the team for 5 points. At the point at which it goes over to the team, anybody can answer for 5 points. All right, we'll start with the person closest to me and work our way outwards. So Esther, you're going to be up first. Esther, here's your question. Explain what is meant by menopause. Explain what is meant by menopause.
Menopause is when your body is too old to produce estrogen, and you won't have a menstrual cycle anymore for the woman.
I think that we can say that. It's a very politically sensitive question there, answer there. But you in the end got it correct. We won't say when it's too old, but I leave that there. But indeed, it is when the menstrual cycle in a woman's life ceases, and so she no longer will have her period, and so that is indeed what menopause means. Well done for 10 points. Moving on to Team Captain Nashe. Team Captain, here is your question. How many significant figures are there in this number? 0.002003. How many significant figures are there in this number? 0.002003.
2 significant numbers?
I'm afraid that's not correct. Please go over to the team.
Four.
4 significant numbers is indeed correct, Clare Hall. Yes, I think our team sometimes struggle with the zeros, but remember the zeros before the first non-zero number, so the zeros in front of the 2 don't count, but any 0 after the 2 will count. So 2003 are all significant numbers. So 4 is the correct answer, right? Now, let us go on to the final person in this round. That is Hanika. Hanika, here is your question. Name the first 7 elements of the periodic table in order. Name the first 7 elements of the periodic table in order.
Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen.
Well, you gave me a little bit more than we needed, but we think we got the 7 there, so we'll give you the 10 points. You gave me 8, but you were very excited to show off you know the periodic table. It's a bit of enthusiasm there, but yes, indeed, you're right, though. Oxygen is the 8th element, but yes. So yes, that is correct for 10 points. Well done to Team Clare Hall. We'll have the final scores for this round and the overall totals when we come back from these commercial messages from our sponsors.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
And welcome back. I think this may be the final time. I am saying no, it's not the final time, but welcome back nonetheless, because we're going into our final round. That's why I'm confused there. But yes, final round of competition, and we have 2 schools fighting for that final spot in the 3rd round or the semi-final round of competition. The All Saints Secondary versus the Clare Hall Secondary. And one of these 2 schools, as we learned last week, will face the Antigua Grammar School in the 2nd semi-final encounter. And we will find out who the school will be after this round. But before we get into the 4th round, the beat the clock round, I have to give you the scores from the last round. So the All Saints Secondary went first, and they amassed a total of 15 points in that round. Give them a round of applause, please. And that brings their total score to 60 points in the competition. And the Clare Hall Secondary School amassed a total of 25 points in that round, and added to their previous score brings their total to 80 points so far in the competition. And so the Clare Hall Secondary have expanded their lead there. They're now leading by a total of 20 points as we go into the final round of competition. But All Saints Secondary is still a chance to catch up to them, because in this final round, you get to answer as many points or as many questions as you can in 60 seconds. You get to run up numbers, as I like to say, and get as many points as you can on the board. And so anything is still possible in the competition, right? So, as always, this is an individual team round, so we're going to say goodbye to the Clare Hall Secondary once more, as the All Saints Secondary will go first. So the All Saints Secondary, you will have your chance to earn as many points as you can in this round. Tiana, I see you're going to lead your team into the final round and answer this round on behalf of your team. As always, you are going to be the final and official answerer, so any answer that is accepted will come from you. Of course, your teammates can always help you, but you have the final word. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you possibly can. Each correct answer gets your team 5 points. I will only move on to a new question if I hear an answer or the word pass. So if you don't know, you can say the word pass, right? And your 60 seconds begins now. A symbiotic relationship in which both organisms benefit is called?
Mutualism.
What term is used to describe substances that do not conduct electricity?
Insulators.
What is a common name for acetic acid?
Pass.
In a solution of salt and water, what is the solvent?
Water.
The total number of protons and neutrons gives what number for an atom?
Pass.
What is the male gamete in humans?
Pass.
True or false? Isotopes are subatomic particles of an atom.
True.
What is the chemical formula for carbon dioxide?
Pass.
Which food nutrient, when consumed in excess, leads to diabetes?
Sugar.
Which sense organ is used to detect auditory stimuli?
Pass.
What is the chemical symbol for lead?
Pass.
Where in the human body does digestion end?
The anus.
You can repeat that. The hands judges in here, so please repeat that.
The anus.
The anus, she said, the anus. And that is the end of Team All Saints' turn. We now invite the Clay Hall secondary back into the room, and they will have their chance to run up the numbers and answer as many as they can in 60 seconds. As many points as they can get in 60 seconds. All right, girls from the Clay Hall secondary, welcome back. You had another break there. And you now have your turn to answer as many questions as you can. Run up the numbers, and in 60 seconds to get as many points as you can on the board. Is that going to be Team Captain Nashe answering on behalf of her team? Team Captain Nashe will answer and lead her team into the final round. Remember that your answer is the official answer. Your teammates can help you, but only what you say counts. All right? So I will only move on to a new question. I invite you to speak loudly and clearly. I will only move on to a new question if I hear a response or the word pass, right? So if you don't know, you can say the word pass. Okay, so let's just begin. Your 60 seconds starts now. A symbiotic relationship in which both organisms benefit is called?
Pass.
What term is used to describe substances that do not conduct electricity?
Non-metal.
What is the common name for acetic acid?
Pass.
In a solution of salt and water, what is the solvent?
Water.
The total number of protons and neutrons gives what number for an atom?
The mass number.
What is the male gamete in humans?
Testes.
True or false? Isotopes are subatomic particles of an atom.
True.
What is the chemical formula for carbon dioxide?
Pass.
Which food nutrient, when consumed in excess, leads to diabetes?
Sugar.
Which sense organ is used to detect auditory stimuli?
Pass.
What is the chemical symbol for lead?
Pass.
Where in the human body does digestion end?
The anus.
Which system of the human body contains the testes? You can answer that.
Reproductive system.
Did you hear that, judges? Okay, judges heard that. And thank you to the Clay Hall secondary for that speedy response. We're going to find out the final scores when we come back from the break, and we will have the results of tonight's competition for you as well, and find out which team will earn the final spot in the semi-final round. Please stay with us.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
And now I can finally say welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, as we're going to bring tonight's competition to a close. We had a very hard-fought competition tonight between the Clay Hall Secondary and the All Saints Secondary as well. But as always, there can only be one. One team will advance to the next round of competition. And we just had the beat the clock round, the speed round. And in that round, I have the results, and in that round, both teams scored a total of 20 points. So both teams earned 20 points in that round, which, if you are doing your math at home with me, the Clay Hall Secondary would have amassed a total of 100 points in the competition, and the All Saints Secondary will have amassed a total of 80 points. So Clay Hall Secondary is declared tonight's encounter winner. And All Saints Secondary School got a total of 80 points. 80 points in that round, so a difference of 20 points. and the Clare Hall Secondary have earned the final spot in the semi-final round. They will face the Antigua Grammar School in that match, and we are all that closer, ladies and gentlemen, to finding out who will be the 2026 Junior Science Quiz Competition. Only 4 schools remain: the Antigua Grammar School, the Clare Hall Secondary School, the St. Joseph's Academy, and the Seventh-day Adventists. Oh, how far we have come in the competition. All Saints, you have fought the good fight. You earned that wild card competition by getting the highest points from the first round losing teams, and you tonight have represented your school admirably well. Team Captain Tiana and her team, you have nothing to be ashamed of in that performance, and I'm sure next year you will work even harder to be even more competitive than you were and go even further in the competition next year. We say thank you so much for trying your best, and I'm sure you learned something. To Team Captain Nashe and her team from Clare Hall, job well done. You have been victorious twice. Now you move on to the semi-final competition representing the Clare Hall Secondary. All the best to you in the next round of competition. Good luck. And we will now bring this competition to a close by giving each team a chance to say their final remarks. I'm going to start with the team from All Saints Secondary, Team Captain Tiana. Tiana, you have your time now to say your final remarks.
Thank you to the competitors. Thank you to my teammates, and thank you to all my teachers that helped to get us this far. Thank you for being along with us, and I hope that as the Clare Hall go on to the next round, that they become victorious in everything that they do. Thank you.
Very well said, Tiana. Very charitable. Very, very sports ladylike, I should say there. And now we'll move on to Team Captain Nashe to give her final remarks.
I want to start off by saying thank you to the Lord for bringing each and every one of us here. I want to say thank you to the Austin Secondary School for putting up a fight. I want to say thank you to the science department in the preparation of this quiz. I also want to say thank you for my teammates for supporting me, and yeah.
Team Captain Nashe seems a bit excited there, overwhelmed with emotion. Yes, I can imagine you must be. You have just won, so you're a bit excited there, but well done, well said. And thank you to all the teams. I want to say a thank you to all the teams who participated until this point. It takes a lot to be on this stage. I did this eons ago, ages ago, and I'm telling you, as someone who has done this, it really takes a lot. It's emotional as well. And you can imagine that, nobody wants to lose, but unfortunately, this is the nature of the competition. But all the teams represented their schools well thus far, and this now brings the second round to a close. We will go into the semi-final round next week. We will have the Seventh-day Adventist versus the St. Joseph's Academy in the first of our 2 semi-final encounters, and we are that much closer to finding out who will be crowned the 2026 Junior Science Quiz champion. Thank you to my hard-working judges, to my camera crew and everybody who has made this competition a reality, to everyone at home who come out and watch us each and every week. Stay glued to your televisions. We thank you so much, and thank you, of course, to our corporate sponsors, the Antigua Barbuda Social Security Board. Join us next week. You must join us next week for the first of our semi-final matches. Thank you, and God bless you, and good night.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.